who has rocked the boat in the face of much formidable political opposition, some of which you know about, much of which you have no idea about, then I'm your go-to guy. Come with me, I'll rock the house. Thank you.
It's been an honor and a privilege to travel all across this four-county district over these past several weeks, meeting many of you in committees, in restaurants, and diners, in every possible place you can imagine, including an unheated office in 10-degree weather, sitting on metal chairs, talking to people, and having a grand old time, and no one cared about the heat or the uncomfortable conditions. I like the donuts, actually. But we cared about the issues that were going on, and it's so inspiring to see the dedication of the committee people. They want to get this process right, and I appreciate that very much. I spent the last 20 years of my career as a federal prosecutor, going after organized crime, political corruption, and the many street gangs that plague this city. They've clearly been the toughest cases in our district, time and time again. It's been both a challenge and an honor defending our Constitution, because that's what I did. I defended our Constitution on a daily basis, helped to preserve our freedoms, and to ensure that those who break the law are always held accountable. I've come to realize my job as a federal prosecutor has prepared me so well for the task at hand. This made me tougher. This made me comfortable in the city, or a hardcore gangbanger who I'm trying to get to cooperate against his fellow men. That type of training is invaluable. It has helped me, and I think it has shown during the committee process that I'm very comfortable in any setting. Through my work with the City of Syracuse, successfully prosecuting 7 gangs, it has enhanced the quality of life for residents in 7 neighborhoods. We've turned them around one by one. And I've come to know the city well and the community leaders. You need to consider this fact. The mutual respect we have developed will allow me to make substantial inroads in the city in ways we just haven't been able to do in the past in the Republican Party. And that's going to help us quite a bit. While my career has been difficult, stressful, and at times very dangerous to me personally and to my family, I'm so very fortunate to draw strength and support from my wonderful wife, Robin, who's here today. She's a registered nurse, she's a wonderful mother, and she's about the best moral compass any husband could ever possibly have. And I thank her very much for that. My 3 teenage boys, including one who's outside freezing with no gloves, even though I told them to bring them today, hold the signs up for everybody, are here. And I draw strength from them as well. And also from my huge Irish Catholic family, some of whom are passing out stickers today for your lapels. So I love them all, and I appreciate the strength that they've given me. We've always been driven as a family to stand up for what is right, and that's really why I decided to leave my career midstream to take this shot. I felt that it was that important, and that's why I'm running for Congress. I could no longer stand on the sidelines and watch what was happening in this great country of ours. I've always told my sons that if you're going to talk the talk, you need to walk the walk. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you I'm walking the walk. I gave up a lot for this because that's how much I believe in this country, and that's how much I love this country. I'm running to provide economic opportunity for those who seek to earn it, and a job for those who seek to secure it. I'm running because you and I do a better job spending our money than the government does for us. I'm running because we deserve to make our own healthcare decisions in consultation with the doctors of our choice, not the doctors of the government's choice. I knew you were going to like that line. I'm running because how and what our kids learn in school should be determined by classroom teachers and local school boards, but not Washington bureaucrats or think tank elitists. I'm running because we have to have an honest-to-goodness conversation about entitlements and spending, immigration and the tax code. And I'm running to protect the most basic constitutional rights in this country, such as the right of law-abiding citizens to bear arms. But most of all, I am running to work for all of you in this room and all the great people throughout this 24th Congressional District. I'm working for your interests. I'm going to work to defend your way of life and try and enhance your quality of life. The problems facing our country might seem mighty, and they're very serious, but they're not insurmountable. There's a can-do spirit that existed in America, and we need to get back to that. And we need a strong leadership to deal with them, and not the weak, self-centered leadership that we now have. I will never shy away from a challenge, and I never have. That's why my office always gave me the most difficult and heart-wrenching cases. I want to represent this great party in Congress, and with your support, I will do just that. If you do not choose me, I will respect that, and I will not take part in the primary. We need to focus this race on the real problem holding us back. Dan LaFay. He won an election to Congress promising to take upstate New York in a new direction, and boy did he never. The record-setting deficits, mountains of debt, passed on to our children, higher taxes, and it goes on and on. It is clear that Dan LaFay's new direction is the wrong direction for New York. As your member of Congress, I will focus on jobs and the economy. I will control deficits and spending and end the federal government overreach in health care and education. I will also call Dan LaFay and his blatant attempts to do whatever he can to keep his job. What has he accomplished, ladies and gentlemen, other than trying to repeal the very bill, Obamacare, that he helped pass? What is Dan LaFay's legacy? Do you agree with me that it's time for upstate to have a new congressman that is more concerned about your job security than his? I ask you to vote with me. I'm ready to take Washington to work for us again and to reignite excitement in the Republican Party here in Central New York. Thank you. I have assembled a very experienced team of Central New Yorkers from our past two Republican congressional representatives, and we're ready to hit the ground running with major support and fundraisers. We have a great plan to win this race and to take back the city of Syracuse. I thank you very much for your consideration. Let's get excited about our party. Let's get excited about this race, and let's get excited about sending Dan LaFay home for good.
This morning is very honorable. I applaud you for coming here. I've been a former committee member for many years. I know how hard it is to go out and collect signatures and to be on the front lines. Now, several candidates have talked about a primary, and I really believe they shouldn't do that. It would be a mistake. And I pledge to you, I won't run a primary unless I'm your candidate and someone primaries me. It's decision time. When you're Wolfen, you're always at the back of the pack, by the way. Now, we need a candidate who will build trust for the long haul in this community, someone who's proven that day after day for 25 years. I can win in November, and we can keep the seat for the long haul. We can do that. We can do that. We build the party again. And all of you being here is all about building the party, time and time again. And I applaud our chairs and all the committee members for being a part of building our party. We need to build it around ideas that we stand for things. So, conservative Republican ideas that we're committed to stand firm on day after day. I'll commit to you that I'll protect our civil liberties. I'll commit to you that we'll build a strong economy built on job-creating and wealth-creating jobs like the manufacturing sector and agribusiness and the other ways in which to grow our economy. I'll commit to you that we'll live within our means if I'm a congressman. We'll pass, and we need to focus on passing a balanced budget, not $500 billion in deficit every year. I'll promise you we won't saddle our children with an incredible debt. $17 trillion, folks, way too much. $7 trillion alone under this current president. I commit to you, I will work to repeal Obamacare. We need to get rid of that awful law. I commit to you that we'll maintain a strong defense. We'll honor our veterans, those men and women that I served with. And our friends will trust us, and our enemies will respect us. You know, we'll need to win over independents and Democrats throughout our community. Because of my 25 years in this community, I've known many people across the political spectrum. I've worked with them day in and day out. They've committed to help me, regardless of their party. Because, quite frankly, we're going to win on our ideas, folks, because we stand for something, and because we want to make this community a much better place. I humbly ask you for your vote today. I promise that I'll unite us, not divide us. I promise I'll fight for you and for everyone in this community. And I promise that I will serve with honorably this district if you give me your vote. Thank you for coming out this morning.
Law enforcement approaches aimed at solving crime. I have a history of strong community policing initiatives and programs, and my background emphasizes cooperation and coordination with local, state, and federal agencies. As the leader of one of the busiest police departments in this county, I have always worked within the budget provided. And as your sheriff, I will work to rebuild and restore fiscal integrity between the Sheriff's Department and the county legislature in regards to the budget. And I will ensure taxpayers receive the most efficient use of their money through proper management. My mission, and that of the men and women of the Sheriff's Department, will be one of customer service, where the citizen, the taxpayer, comes first. As your sheriff, I will be accessible and available. I will always be seeking to know what the priorities and needs of the community are. I am fortunate to have an experienced and organized campaign team who are eager and ready to begin working tomorrow. And I have a strong financial foundation and have support from across party lines. Over the past several weeks, I have met great Republicans who are great people. I am hopeful that as your sheriff, I can continue the dialogues and build on the friendships that have been made. I would like to thank each and every one of you for the warm reception I have received as I have visited your communities. It's something I will never forget. I respect the Republican process of choosing a candidate, and I will not seek a primary. In closing, I would like you to know that I love going to work each day, and I am ready to lead the men and women of the Sheriff's Department and to provide you with the finest Sheriff's Department anywhere. In closing, I would like you to know that I love my family, I love my profession, and I love my country, and I would be honored to have your vote. Thank you.
In Cayuga, Wayne County, Oswego County, and Onondaga County has selected on the first round of voting to take on Dan Maffei, former U.S. Prosecutor John Katko. Ladies and gentlemen, it will not be an easy task to defeat the liberal Dan Maffei and send him packing. We need everybody's help in this room to do that. John Katko will carry the Republican banner. We're going to work on securing the other lines and talking to our friends in the Conservative Party and the Independence Party. It is my hope that we are unified as we go forward to make sure that our goal is to beat Dan Maffei. At this time, I'd ask Rob DeMarco to come up real quick and say a few things. I'd ask Gene Conway to get ready now.
Here today, and I pledge to you that I will work as hard as humanly possible to be your next sheriff and to make sure it's a Republican candidate for sheriff come this November. Thank you.
Come to the 24th very much. I think he's afraid to be out on the 24th. Ladies and gentlemen, John Katko.
It's going to be amazing that we didn't have a runoff.
Thank you.
You're right.
Surprise.
Tom stressed the word brief when you heard me up, get the nominations, he knows I like to talk, but I will be very brief. First and foremost, I want to thank every single one of you that took your time out of your days and your lives and your weekends and nights to talk to us. Up until 10 o'clock last night, I was receiving phone calls from committee members that were undecided trying to figure out which way they were going to go. You take this serious, and that's a great thing, because this is a serious thing. But now it's time to get excited, because the process is done. It's time to take the fight to Mr. Maffei. We're going to fight every minute of every day until that election in November. And I ask, and I hope, and I pray that my colleagues that I've worked with over the last several weeks that were up for this election with me will be with me. They all were strong. They were all excellent. And I hope we all unite, because it's not about whether one of us wins. It's about the fact that we need to win. All right? So impressed with everybody, and I don't mean to single out one person, but I have to with John Lemondes. John is truly a great American. I just met him. Everybody that I've talked to has said he's got nothing but a bright future, and there's no doubt about that. So John, I hope you rally behind us, and I hope for God's sakes that you get back into this soon, because we need you. I know the honeymoon is over. Okay, we didn't say anything bad about each other. I know that's coming to an end, and I know what I'm up against. I know what the Democrats are capable of doing. But don't worry, I've been through enough fires in my day. I'm ready for it. And as an old saying goes in Ireland, that's on the walls of Kitty Hoynes. There's no need to fear the wind if your haystacks are tied down. Mine are tied down. I'm ready to rock, and we're going to have some fun, and we're going to knock the heck out of Dan Maffei. God bless you all.